Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Man's No Bull Beer Reviews. Today I have another beer from Wooden Robot Brewing out of Charlotte, North Carolina. This is one that I had always heard was pretty good, but they hadn't done this since I moved down here, so I was happy that they did this again, so I got a chance to try it. This beer is called Thicket as Thieves, and it is a blackberry sour ale. Just says Foeder aged local malt, local blackberries, bottle conditioned, and it is 6.0 ABV. So pretty excited for this one too because blackberries probably my favorite fruit to put in wild beer. So we'll see how this plays out. Sorry, just trying to get this where I can get the label in there. So as you can see, it pours a really nice looking, really deep, dark red to like a lighter purple color with a pink head. So I'm definitely getting some blackberry in the nose. There's a little bit of Brett. I wouldn't really say I'm getting a ton of like the oak from the Foeder. It smells like there's a little bit of a sweet malt backbone to it too. But all right, let's see what we got. It's pretty good. So I guess instead of comparing it to another brewery's blackberry beer, because most blackberry sours, like not kettle sours, but actual traditional sours most of them are barrel aged. I mean, I guess in the Foeder you can kind of say it's barrel aged because it is being exposed to oak, but it's not like wine barrel aged or anything. So it's kind of hard to compare this to like the wine barrel aged ones. I wouldn't say that it's going to have as much complexity, but this actually is pretty complex. I would compare it more to a beer that they just released not too long ago. I can't remember what it's called now, but it was a Balaton Cherry Sour, and I think the base was probably the same for this. Maybe just because it said it was a Foeder aged sour. I don't know if it is the same, but that one, I did like that one, but it was a little too acidic for me and just like really sour. This one is still fairly tart, but it's not to that same sour level. And it's just like, to me, it's more of like a natural tartness from the fruit, and it's not like acid, like offensive acid being produced in the yeast. It is pretty flush with fruit too, which is nice. Honestly, it doesn't have quite the depth, but just for the nice bright quality of the fruit itself, I mean, I would put this up there with most of the Fauna Flora AWAS bottles, to be honest. It is a really nice bright blackberry taste. It's really clean. A little bit of a funk on the back end. It's fairly tart, but there's no rough edges about it at all. Most of the tartness is just, like tongue. It's like puckering. It's not like acid sourness. I know technically it's probably all acid, but different types of acid, but it doesn't like sting in the back of your throat. It just like, makes your mouth pucker when you drink it. But one of my friends from Pittsburgh, He loves like the enamel stripping sours, which those are too much for me. But I bet he would be a big fan of this because it's a really nice, it is pretty tart, but it's just not like that overbearing sourness that I don't like. So I think he would like this a lot. And the more I drink it, it's opening up a little bit. I'm gonna try to maybe even get it to warm up a little bit by put my hand over it. It is. I think the fruit's coming out even more, and I am getting a little more oak too, which is just kind of bolstering the complexity. I will say I think this is probably my second or third favorite wild beer that they've done. I think Foeder for Thought was really, really great, but I think it started going downhill a little bit. But I mean, that happens. But when it was fresh, it was great. And what was the other one? The Direct Current was really, really good. I don't know if this is quite to that level. I would say the fruit character is pretty similar, other than being a different fruit. But that one I would say had a little bit more complexity. It was a little funkier than this is. But this is still really good stuff. And I would say if any brewery put this out, like world renowned brewery, even put this out, like I would still say that they did a really good job. It's just really easy to drink. It has a nice, sweet, tarty, minerally quality. It's a good beer. I bought 4 of them because I was a little weary because the last one I liked it, but I wouldn't have wanted to have like a whole bunch of them. This one, I'm definitely glad I got 4, and I might get more. It's really good. When I say 4, that doesn't mean I'm going to drink all 4 either. One of them I'm going to share with, minimum, I'm going to share one with like several people. But I like busting them out in local, some people locally might not have even bought it, and then you bust them out in a local share, and they're like, holy crap, I wish I would have gotten it, and if they still have some left, they can go try it. So this was $16. So I definitely think it's worth it. A lot of places are charging $20 for something similar, or even more than that. So I think it's a pretty good deal. Really tasty beer, and I'm glad that I have several of these and I can finish the rest of this. So definitely a buy. They're a sleeper. Not a lot of people outside of Charlotte know about them, but they do some really good quality stuff in a bunch of different beer styles. They actually, not this, but excuse me, a different sour of theirs won gold for fruited sour at GABF this year. So I mean, that I don't put a ton of stock into those, but that's a category that there's a ton of good quality brewers entering into. So that I think is pretty impressive. So I would definitely check them out. And this beer specifically, it's really good. So I think that's all I got in this one. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I look forward to doing the next one. Thanks.